Tom and I had a conversation today that was uncomfortable but needed, and we learned.
We learned.
I'll tell you what I learned.
What?
I am really bad at replying to people. I'll be very real right now. This is uncomfortably real. We had an issue that was bothering both of us. And what happens, we weren't talking about it. And we were texting and going back and forth. And then if we did call, it was at a bad time. Like I was on an airplane or he was in his Porsche, whatever. And I said to him, let's come in 30 minutes early and have a conversation. We walked in and it was uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. And by the way, we've done that twice recently. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, when I say I feel so much better about our friendship because of those. And if you don't do those, then you get fucking stuck in a hole of your own imaginary thoughts.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I didn't do those for 42 years.
For real?
Yeah, I really didn't. I'm so happy to have conversations like that.
Yeah.
And you do have this thing where it's so funny to relate it to this for me, but it makes sense. It'll make sense to you. I think conversations like that are like cold plunging in that they're worse in your head than they are in, like, when you do them, you feel so much better. Yeah. But in your head, you're like, man, I don't want to fucking do this. Like you always people avoid conversations like that. I don't believe that anybody is instinctively good at that in life. No. I believe it's a matter of practice. I believe it's a matter of either you were doing it when you were young because you were led well to do it, or you avoid them, in which case it's so much harder because you avoid them and you get in the practice of avoiding them. And if you get in the practice of avoiding those conversations, it's really hard to switch things. But I've been practicing doing them more and more for the last couple years. And I think all my relationships are better because of it. Yeah.
I sat last night and I said, I don't want to speak out of emotion because emotion is the thing. So the facts are the thing that fuck with your emotion. And all of a sudden your emotion gets out of control and it starts changing the facts on you. It starts like you were saying it to me. I'll share it. And then if you don't want to put it in, he goes,
yeah.
You go, when you don't return my calls, I start create. What did you say?
I create narratives. I create stories in my head.
Yeah.
You're not the first person that I've done this to. I think when you don't see a person, in other words, you're not talking to them regularly, you know them, but you're not communicating. You have something you want to talk about. You don't talk about it. You avoid it, or it just doesn't happen. You're not even on the phone talking. Your brain, everyone's brain, creates like a story of what is happening. And the more that length of time goes where you don't communicate, the stories just grow. Like your brains just do this.
Yeah.
They form stories, and usually what it leads to is you getting more emotional, you creating like your own internal drama about it. And then I told you, every time I see you, especially if we need to talk and we talk, I always feel so much better, and I remind myself that I like you.
Yeah, that you don't want to throw my head through a wall.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Quote unquote, throw my head.
I did not say that.
Or a dresser. What did you say? You said it about Christina. You wanted to throw when you loved her so much, you wanted to throw her head through a dresser.
That is something I said back then.
Yeah.
But
those
I said that I also go to very violent places and thoughts in my head.
I do not know how you have a career.
What do you mean?
Like the idea, like when you think those things, those violent thoughts, I just go, where's the fun, Tom, at? like how do you write a joke? You're like, I want to fucking cut her eyeballs out and fuck her. You
haven't seen my new stuff.
You're really good at having those conversations. I am not. I avoid. I don't like confrontation.
I want to say this. I don't enjoy confrontation either. What I do think the difference is for me now is just seeing the necessity to have those, to go like, if you're bothered by something, if something's making you uncomfortable, like I said, dude, I didn't do this for like my whole life. But what I realized is that you go, like when I called you like a week ago or whatever, I was like, I just got to talk to you.
I like knowing what make people uncomfortable, because I don't realize I'm a bull in a china shop. And so Leanne says I cast a large wake. And so I've lost friendships because I don't know what I'm saying. I say wild shit. I don't see other people. I just don't.
Crazy description of oneself.
Yeah. But I'm just like, huh?
I know.
What? Like I didn't know you were getting upset by this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, by the time that happens, and I can talk specifically about a couple people. By the time that happens, they're so fucking angry at me that they'll never forgive me, and I don't even know that I've done something wrong. And I'm like, fuck. And then even when I try to fix it, I make it way fucking worse. And so and then God forbid I get emotion about it. If I get emotion about it, it's because my feelings got hurt. And if my feelings got hurt, I turn into a fucking pussy stamping cunt. And that I'm not proud of. I don't like the way I behave in those things. And so I like that we said, let's come in 30 minutes early and talk.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, and trust me, I burned it to the ground. I was like 9 times. I was like, I guess Tom doesn't want me in Two Bears anymore. I guess Tom wants to do Two Bears with some Daniel Ricciardo. Old Danny Ricciardi coming out to Austin to live with his best. Oh, maybe Brad Pitt and him want to do Two Bears. Maybe. I was like, that's what he's doing. He's trying to sniff me out so him and Brad Pitt can do Two Bears.
I haven't talked to Brad in weeks.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call Two Bears, One Cave.